began attending the University of Oregon, my first semester consisted of taking 2 general ed classes that was required of all freshmen: college writing and math college algebra. Well, I took these classes and didn't have a struggle. I went to class, I did the homework, and I took my test. But this was not true for most of my peers. I remember watching as most of my dorm mates really struggled with college algebra and helped them with their assignments so that they could understand the material. And I remember peer editing my classmates' papers and writing 121 and just being amazed at what they had written. There was poor grammar, poor word choice, poor syntax. I was just amazed that this writing got them into college. But unfortunately, this is a common problem. This has led educators to develop the Common Core state standards so that when everyone enters the college level, they all are prepared. But there's been one issue with the development of the Common Core state standards, and that is the lack of parent knowledge. According to Susan Newman, a University of Michigan professor, parents were not involved in the development of the Common Core state standards, thus leading to a lack of understanding of what is happening in the school system today. And according to Terry Russ, a technology instructor at Arizona, in 1992, when the Common Core standards were first developed, it was made up of educators, administrators, and government officials, showing that there was no parent involvement. Today, I will be informing you about the Common Core state standards and how you as parents can help your child succeed under these new standards. First, I will be informing you about why the United States is transitioning to the Common Core state standards. Second, I will be informing you about what the Common Core state standards consist of. And third, I will be informing you about how you as parents can help your child to succeed under the Common Core state standards and what effect they have in California. So first, I'll be telling you about what the Common Core state standards, why the United States is transitioning into the Common Core state standards. So currently, the United States is ranked really low when it comes to education compared to other countries, and so the development of the Common Core standards will make the United States equal with other countries. According to David Connolly, a professor at the University of Oregon and researcher of college readiness and college freshmen, the use of the Common Core standards will take away from the test prep area into the area of analysis when it comes to education. So what that means is no longer will teachers be throwing information at students that they then put on a test and then forget, but now they'll be forced to use what they've learned throughout all of their educational career in the K through 12 and be able to analyze the material and be able to give answers. Second, according to Connolly, the effect of the Common Core state standards will allow students to be able to succeed in a knowledge-based economy. The second reason that the United States is transitioning into the Common Core state standards is so that high school graduates are prepared for the college and university standards. According to the Bill Gates Foundation, the number of students ready for college is far below where it needs to be at. And thirdly, the third reason the United States is transitioning into the Common Core state standards is so that students are prepared for the workforce. Since businessmen and government officials are the one that created the Common Core state standards, they have an expectation of when high school graduates graduate of what they should know and be able to perform in the workplace. So now that I have talked about why the United States is transitioning to the Common Core state standards, I will now be telling you what the Common Core state standards are. So there are 2 areas of emphasis when it comes to Common Core state standards, the first being the English language and the second mathematics. In the English language, the emphasis has been on writing and reading. There are 6 new standards, according to Connolly, there are 6 new standards, according to Susan Newman, who was previously mentioned, that will fall under reading. The first is that students will be able to do comprehensive reading. The second is that students will read a challenging text. So what that means is no longer will there be grade level reading. Instead, the teacher will choose a text that's challenging to the student specifically. The student should be able to read disciplinary text, so science, technology-based, and social science reading. Third, that they'll be able to do informative reading, such as newspapers and biographies. And this means that teachers will be moving away from the more narrative text. Fourth, that students can do closed reading. So what that means is instead of telling teachers what would happen in the story, they have to explain why that happened. And in order to do that, the fifth thing is that they have to use evidence-based material to present their reasoning. Sixth, they The teachers want, or the standard is that students should be able to read multiple texts and then compare and contrast them. In math, there are several new standards as well, and this is according to Connolly, who was also previously mentioned. First, they want students to be able to look at a problem, be able to come up with a way to solve the problem, and then actually solve the problem themselves. They want students to use instruments and tools accurately and precisely. So what that means is no longer are students going to use calculators to do like basic math functions, but instead they want them to use calculators for those like table graphs and stuff that you can't necessarily do in your head. They want people or students to they want them to model math, and they want them to be precise and accurate with their math. The overall underlining cause of the change to the Common Core standards, according to Elisha Piper, a professor at the Northern Illinois University, is for 5 reasons. The first is so that students will be able to problem solve, so see a problem and solve it, and the way that they're going to do that is second, through research, third, through interpretation of that research, fourth is through communication and explaining their research, both orally and written, and fifth is through using precision and accuracy in their research. So now that I have explained what the Common Core state standards are, I'm going to tell you about how this affects you as parents and how it affects the state of California. So originally when the Common Core standards were brought out, California decided that they didn't initially want to go with that because California is known for has one of the highest standards currently in the United States. But after much thought and research, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2009 signed an agreement that that California would follow everyone else and do it if and only if the Common Core state standards were equal or higher than the current state standards, and that they would only do 85% of the standards. So how does this affect you as parents? Well, if you would like your child to succeed, you need to help them at home because that's the #1 area where children learn outside of school. And you can do that in several ways. According to New York Engage, which is a website put on by the New York PTA and New York Teachers Union, the way that you can help your child succeed in math is by having your child do basic math at home and making sure you're in constant communication with your child's teacher. Math is a building on subject, so if your child is confused in the beginning or doesn't understand in the beginning, then later they're going to still struggle. So you need to make sure that you understand where they're at and then use these skills at home. So you can take them to the store and have them do the math about how to add things or multiply things. According to Elisha Piper, who was already acknowledged, the way that you can help your child read is starting now. Before they get into school, you should start reading to your child and have them read the small words to you, and also show them that you are an active reader and read in front of your child so that they see that reading is a good thing. And then when it comes to writing, you want to start having your child work on their letters now and learn basic things like writing their name in simple words. And then you also want to let them, when they get a little bit older, to use the computer, because in today's education we do a lot of typing and using of the computer. So you want to show them that the computer can be used not only for fun and games, but also for educational purposes. So now that I've told you about how you as parents can help your children to succeed and how this has affected California, I'm just going to go over what we talked about today. So today I have informed you about what the Common Core state standards and how you as parents can help your child to succeed. First, I informed you about why the United States is transitioning to the Common Core state standards, what the Common Core state standards are, and how you as parents can help your child to succeed, and what the effect is on California. So all of you would like your children to succeed once they go to college and not be like my peers that struggled. So in order to do that, you can help them at home now before they even enter the schools.